anything that happened, I would care more about them than me. Like, I'd literally, multiple times, I would have gladly stepped in front of them for anything to make sure that they go home versus me hadn't cared. My name is Don Enrico Majillo, and I served 4 years in the United States Marine Corps. I first joined the military because my dad was in the Navy, so I kind of grew up with a military mentality. I've always wanted to join, so that was always a thing. That was a turning point, was 9/11, yeah. First grade, I think I was in, and we were in Korea. It was Camp Hyale, it was an Army base. I remember waking up, walking out to the living room, and I see my parents sit on TV. They were crying, just bawling. We didn't go to school for like 2 days. We ended up going to school and my teachers explained to us what went down. And they said, we're going to war. I remember feeling emotional. Like, I was very young. I knew that was a big thing. I knew it was big. I knew it was big enough to be like worried about it. I didn't know what the Marine Corps was at the time. I knew that I needed to join. Basic training was horrible. That was a struggle to get used to. Maybe grow up a little bit. And I liked it. It was good. It was a great experience. I'd do it again if I could. I think it's for every Marine, a specific moment that stood out for me. We have a 48-hour event called the Crucible. So the Crucible, you get like 3 meals, you're hiking X amount of miles, and you're running and you're getting yelled at all day, and completely hard event. You don't sleep for 48 hours. The last day, you go on a hike up the Reaper, and the Reaper is literally a vertical mountain. It symbolizes like you're climbing up into the clouds, literally. That's how high you are in elevation. You go up as a recruit, and you come down as a Marine. I remember when I got to the top there, and then my drill instructor handed me my Eagle Globe and Anchor, and he held it in my hand, I squeezed it. I was like, I felt so empowered. Like, I felt like I could do anything. Like, I felt like I could like run up and down the mountain again. I'm a fucking Marine now. I don't give a shit. Like, this is fucking awesome. I deployed once to Afghanistan, Special Operation Enduring Freedom, 2014. When I was in communication school, I had some buddies that were there like, oh, I have a buddy in this unit. And they said they're going to Afghanistan. I'm like, that's bullshit. Everyone says that. But Lord behold, it was a real thing. So when I got to the unit, we were doing a workup to Afghanistan, getting ready for it. I was with 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines. It was an infantry unit. I was a communications guy, 0621 field radio operator. At the time, I had this preconceived notion of what they were. You know, the guys in the movies that always get shot. Guys that go with the platoons, have a big antenna, they call it a shoot-me stick. And they'd go out and like relay CASEVACs, relay communications, all that stuff, set up communications outside the wire. The whole workup, it was none of that. They were like, you're not infantry, you're not anyone special, so you're not gonna do any of this. You're gonna sit here in this tent and monitor radios all day. Come time to deploy though, they attached me to an infantry platoon, and I went on a total of like 17, 18 combat patrols. We probably saw, out of the battalion, we saw the least amount of combat, but we took the biggest hit when shit went down though. That shit that they told me that you're not gonna be doing any of this, that was a complete lie. The day it got real was June 20th, 2014, approximately 7:30 in the morning. That was my 20th birthday. One of the machine gunners started firing. He just lit up a long burst, like 18, 20 rounds, something like that, maybe even more. I tried to walk out to the back of the truck. Little did I know it was a car driving with 600 pounds of explosives in the vehicle. I was away from that explosive the distance from 1 6x MRAP, so it's not very far. It was to that point to where when that car detonated, that car was not there anymore. There was metal. Body parts, probably like ears. I smell of burnt hair. It was horrible. Detonation went off. I came back in. Every extremity was bleeding except for my eyes. And we all looked at each other. We're like, holy fuck, are you okay? I've never been in an explosion, never been anywhere close to it like that, but that shockwave, because we've all seen videos when the explosion goes off, you see that invisible force field that's just moving on the grass. Whoosh. It literally felt like someone just took a fist and hit me in the nose. My gunner fell down, and then he was like, oh my God, am I okay? Am I okay? Oh my fucking God, he has blood in his face. And I remember I couldn't say anything, I just looked at him. And then one of the guys in the vehicle was like, get on the fucking gun. He gets on the gun. We were opening the doors, going outside, and I see everybody crawling out of vehicles. The vehicles are like burnt up and shit, and dudes are like bleeding and shit. I remember dudes were bleeding. Like we had 2 guys from the state platoon, it was a scout sniper platoon. I think it was Sergeant Hatch. He was on the floor bleeding. Corpsman died, but then he came back. Like, he didn't have a pulse apparently, and then all of a sudden they tapped him a couple times and he took a breath and he didn't say anything and started working on dudes. I remember hearing a long burst of machine gun fire, incoming machine gun fire. Within minutes, we had air on station. Dudes were putting up the stretchers, getting stretchers ready to go, And my buddy, James, handed me a fucking saw, and he's like, get on this corner, fucking point it that way. I remember crying. The whole time I was crying, bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, I'm gonna shoot the first motherfucker I see. And my other buddy next to me was like, you calm down. I'm not fucking calm, I'm gonna shoot everybody. I don't give a fuck. I was angry. Within 10 minutes, I had platoon plus size element creating a cordon around us. Dudes started coming out, corpsmen started coming out. Everyone started working on people. A helicopter came, picked our dudes up, and then from there, we just waited. I guess looking at it in a bigger picture, like, we were there to help. Why? And it wasn't just them. It was like, I know it was a coordinated attack, you know what I mean? Like, they have had to have gotten intel from the people who live in the area. They just tried to kill us. Yeah, that hits close to home, you know what I mean? This group of people I was with, we cared more about each other than we did about like anybody else. Anything that happened, I would care more about them than me. Here we go. That's how I am, that's how I've always been. So when I saw my friends there bleeding, this look of like anguish and defeat on their faces, that was hard to watch, and hard to even deal with. Because I think one of the other big things that took away from that was like, during the incident, we were chilling, hanging out. We see an explosion in the distance. We didn't know what it was. It was a big explosion, huge. At the time, we were like, fuck, sucks for them, dude, who the fuck they were. We later found out that 2nd Combat Engineer Battalion, 2nd CEB, was on a way to clear out towards us to come get us out. And on the way to us, they ran over an IED and split the vehicle in half. And 3 Marines on the inside burned alive. The 2 kids were my age, 19 years old. They graduated the same year as I did. I don't celebrate my birthday much anymore. Like, my birthday involves me throwing back 3 shots for the dudes that didn't make it. I try my best to just be happy that day. Be happy for the ones that didn't make it. As best as I can, at least. My birthday's not my birthday anymore. I don't own that day anymore. It's not for me, it's for them. Like, I didn't even care for the fact that I wouldn't be it anymore. I think the part that got me was, I think my parents would have had to celebrate my day of my death on my birthday. It kind of sucked. Yeah, when I told my mom, I remember she was bawling on the phone, so was I. And as soon as my dad found out too, I heard him like crying a little bit too. It sucks because I think it was mainly the fact that my friends were hurt and that fucking got to me. I didn't care about me, I cared about them more. They gave me a Purple Heart that I didn't want it. I did not want it. For sure. It's a fucking, like, for me, it's a headache ribbon. Granted, yeah, sure, I was bleeding a bunch of places. People were making fun of me too for it. Like, yo, you got a fucking Purple Heart for a headache. I'm like, oh, thanks, guys, I appreciate it. I remember someone put me aside, and it was like, that's not for you, dude, that's for the people that didn't make it. So wear that shit with pride. I couldn't talk about it for a while. I get very angry when people ask me about it. But it's after a while, as I started talking about it, is when shit felt better. Getting it off my chest. There was a time when I first told some friends about this, I couldn't get through the first sentence without bawling, and I had to stop because I kept crying and I couldn't go anymore. I sought help. They asked if I wanted to see somebody and talk to somebody. I'm like, yeah, fuck it couldn't hurt anybody, so I did it. They put me in the right place where I was able to talk about what went down with other people. It's just like a fucking cup of water. Like, you can only fill it up so much before that bitch starts to overflow. When it overflows, what's gonna happen when it fucking flows? Sometimes it's good to take that cup of water and just put that water where it needs to be. Plant something, put it in something good. Lionhearted is important because people need to talk about the shit that went down. Not just because for the individual itself, but people can learn from that shit too. And for the individual veteran itself too, like I was just saying earlier, that pack needs to get put off, man. You need to take that pack off, put it down, relax for a little bit, and be able to tell people and talk to people about it to just get that stress off, get that fucking monkey off your back, you know? If you have that shit inside, you can't enjoy this as much because you feel like you can't open up. You need to be able to open up and talk to each other about this shit because it feels hell of a lot better when you do talk about it. I don't feel as angry anymore, definitely not. Don't feel as panicked anymore when shit goes down. There's a lot of dudes that have been there, done that, and they did way more than I did. A lot more. And to them, I say thank you. I don't know what kind of hardships they went through to accomplish what they did, But the fact that they did, it's fucking good in my book. It's fucking awesome. The fact that I was asked to do this, I felt very honored. I'm being put with a bunch of dudes that have served this country way more than anyone ever asked. So to me, I get shivers thinking about it because it's so freaking awesome. I hope everyone sees this because, again, people could learn from this. The things that I'm saying, it could possibly save someone's life at the end of the day, or it can encourage other dudes to be able to talk about that shit that went down, that voodoo that we never talk about. When you're ready, you're ready. This project isn't to force dudes to like talk about what went down if you're not ready. This is a project to show dudes that you're not alone in this fight.